In the following video, you will learn how to access peer-reviewed journal articles from your course LibGuide in Psychology 201. We're currently looking at the library's website, www.hgtc.edu/library. You can locate the Psychology 201 LibGuide by scrolling down on the library's website, locating the LibGuides tab, opening up the drop-down menu and bringing up an alphabetical listing of all of our course LibGuides, and scrolling down to find the one for Psychology 201. Then hit Go. If you've never seen a course LibGuide, the way they're designed is you navigate your way around using the tabs in the center of the page. Since the main purpose of this video is to learn how to locate peer-reviewed journal articles, we're going to go directly to the tab in which you can search for those articles, and that's the Databases tab. What you'll find when you click on the Databases tab, there's four main areas that I want to point out to you. The first thing is that over on the right-hand side are links to all of the relevant databases in Psychology 201. In the upper left-hand corner is a definition of what you'll find in a database, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And then below that, you've got a link telling you what a peer-reviewed article is, a video explaining them, instructions for how to search for peer-reviewed articles, which you're learning about in this video, and then a file that you can click on to view the different parts of a peer-reviewed article so you can better understand what they look like. Let's go back up to the top of the page and talk about what is a database. A database is just a collection of information. When you're thinking library databases, think what you're going to find is things like journal articles, magazine articles, newspaper articles, and other scholarly sources. But again, the thing that you're interested in finding is that peer-reviewed journal article. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go into the library's psychology database. It's called Psychology and Behavioral Sciences Collection. We're going to start with this one, and I'd recommend for your research you start here as well. Here's the search page with the Psychology and Behavioral Sciences Collection database. I'm going to do a search for one of the topics that's in your course textbook. So I'm going to search for bystander apathy. Now I've got a results list, but understand that you're looking for peer-reviewed articles. Peer-reviewed articles have gone through an additional process before being published. Peer-reviewed articles are reviewed by a group of peers of the authors or author of the article to ensure scholarly research is conducted in that particular article. So they are the gold standard in terms of research. Now I've got 6 results. I don't know if these are all journal articles, and I certainly don't know if they're all peer-reviewed journal articles. The easy way to limit your results list down to just peer-reviewed articles is by looking for the Refine Your Results section. In some databases it's on the left, which it is here. In some it's on the right, and in some it runs across the top of the page. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll notice it says I can limit my results to peer-reviewed articles. If I click on that link, surprisingly enough, I do still have 6 results. So as it turns out, all 6 results were peer-reviewed articles. But as you'll see in a few moments, that isn't always the case when you click on that link. But I know that I'm actually ready to go with these 6 articles, and I can start taking a look at them to determine if any of them fit what I'm looking for. Maybe the very first article looks like one that's of interest to me. So I'm going to click on that one. On this page here, the first thing that I would recommend you look at is the abstract. The abstract tells you what the article is about. This is a 9-page article, but you should read the abstract first to determine, number one, Does this article even fit what I'm looking for? Number 2, is it an actual research study? Did the authors conduct some type of research? So read through this. If they tell you, we conducted a study to do XYZ, you know what you've got there is an academic study. It may also tell you the number of participants in the study. Sometimes they do that by having the letter N equals and then a number. That indicates how many people participated in the study. So be on the lookout for those things as you're looking through the abstract. If the abstract tells you the authors are just commenting on someone else's study, that doesn't fit what you're looking for. It may be peer-reviewed, but it's not an actual original research study. It's just people commenting on someone else's. If you read the abstract and determine this fits exactly what I'm looking for, come up to the left-hand side and you'll see the full text link to go and look at the article. You may have more than one full text option. The PDF might be the one that you choose because that looks like a scanned copy of the article exactly as it appeared in whatever journal it was once published in. And here you can see is the article itself, just as it appeared in print. And if you read through and determine this fits exactly what I'm looking for, 2 links that you'll want to be on the lookout for are the Cite button, which is over on the right in this case. In other databases, it may be other places on the screen. And from that page, you can get a suggested APA citation. These are computer generated, so double check them for accuracy before you use them in your final references list. The other link that's of use to you is the email feature. It may look like an envelope. It's from here that you can email this to yourself. And the nice thing about that is it makes it so that you don't have to go back and recreate your search. You can find the article again very easily just bringing up your own email. One last thing to point out to you back on the page that we were previously looking at. If you find an article that looks close to being good and you want to find similar ones, you may want to look at the subjects section. Every article that you find in the databases will be assigned subject headings. These are topics that the article itself is about. If you want similar articles, you can click on one of those subject headings and all the other articles that were assigned that subject heading will automatically come up for you. So let's say I want all the other articles that were assigned the subject heading bystander effect. I can click on that link and my results list automatically comes up, and there's 54 different articles that fit that subject heading. But again, remember, you are looking for peer-reviewed articles, so you're going to check this box, and you'll notice that I lost 5 articles were not peer-reviewed, so I'm now down to 49. And you can even further limit your results if you're so interested by date. Maybe you only want some articles that are within the last 20 or so years. You can see that brought me down to an even smaller number. So that's the Psychology and Behavioral Sciences Collection database. Definitely the one I recommend you start with. In the next box, you'll find the Nursing and Allied Health databases. Understand that psychology does certainly fit into the mental health field, so these databases would also be ones that you could consider using. The 2 CINAHL databases at the top are probably your 2 best bets, with the CINAHL Complete database being larger than the CINAHL Plus one. You may also want to consider using the Health and Medicine database. That's another good one to look at. And we'll actually go in and look at that one right now. The reason I'm showing you this one is because it's a database made by a different company. Understand that when you search library resources, the search screens may look different, but the search features generally are the same from one database to another. Now I want to show you the wrong way to search. And the reason I do this is because a lot of students oftentimes don't know the right way to search library resources. I'm going to do a search for why do people believe in conspiracy theories. And you'll notice I only got one result back, and it tells me it's even a newspaper article. So not only did I get a very small number of results, but the one that I got is not a peer-reviewed journal article. Library resources cannot be searched using statements, sentences, or questions. You have to search them like we did in the first search, with a key word or a key phrase. But in this instance, you could say, we actually have a lot of ideas going on in our topic. So I don't know if there's one specific word or phrase we could use. We could use conspiracy theories, but that's a pretty broad concept. So maybe we want to pull out a couple keywords from this particular topic. So I might say believe is one of them, and conspiracy theories is another one. There's a very easy way to join those two things together. What you will want to do is delete all the words that were not relevant to your search, and then put the word "and" in capital letters between your two search concepts. What the "and" does is it joins them together. So every result that comes back has to include the word believe and conspiracy theories. I could further refine this search by putting conspiracy theories in quotation marks. What that does is it tells the database that your searches must search for the word conspiracy theories in that exact order, exactly as you have typed them. So now when I do a search, you're going to see that my results list will greatly increase. And I've got 183 academic journal articles, but if you remember, just like with the last database, I do want to limit myself to only the peer-reviewed articles, which I did over here on the right-hand side, and now I've lost about 20 articles, and I'm down to 163 articles that I could take a look through. And again, it's now just a matter of scrolling through, finding an article's title that fits what it is that you're looking for, and clicking on it, and it will bring up that particular article for you. And just like with the last database, you do have the ability to get the citation, at least a suggested one, as well as sending it to yourself via email. While I'm not going to go into them in this particular video, at the bottom of the Databases tab, you will find the library's general databases. These don't fall into one category like psychology or nursing or mental health. Instead, they can be used in virtually any class. The three at the top of the list that are labeled as best bets are definitely the ones that you would want to start with. If you searched a lot of the databases at the top of this page and didn't find what you're looking for, come down and give one of these a shot. While I'm not going to go in and do any other searches in this particular video, I will point out to you that we do have an eBooks tab on your course LibGuide that has links to our various ebook collections. One that I'll highlight for you is University Press Scholarship Online. This particular ebook collection has over 300 psychology books. And then the other thing that I'll mention is the Multimedia tab. This is where you can find Films on Demand and Canopy. These are the library's two streaming video services. If there's a concept you're studying in this particular course that you're having trouble understanding, you could go into one of these two collections. I'd probably start with Films on Demand and search for that particular concept and see if you can learn more about it through a streaming academic video. Last but not least, we're going to go down to the Get Help tab, and this is where you can find the various methods for contacting the library for assistance. If you need help from the library, reach out to us in whatever method works best for you. Understand that we do have a chat service. You can click on the chat service via this blue box right here, or you may have noticed that there was a green box on the right-hand side of the page that opens up and shows you our chat service as well. Good luck in your research. Again, if you need help, reach out to the library for help, and we'll be more than happy to give you a hand. Thanks for watching.